Did you taste what you ate? We eat and we don't taste. We eat and we don't savor. Because everything rests upon our shoulders. And I need to get from here to there, and in the middle, I need to grab something to eat. So here you are now. You have filled your tummies, and now you are here to fill your heart. If you did any of those things that I just mentioned, then you are both Mary and Martha. That was the Martha part. Tonight, it's the Mary part. You're here opening your hearts to your God. And he opened up his door, but didn't stay with us. I guess he saw I was the secret speaker and decided to leave. But anyway, when I did read the passage from Scripture, one line that I said was, Martha invited Jesus into her home, which signifies one of two things, that she's a widow, her husband left her the home, and so it is her home. And the second thing that it surmises is that her brother Lazarus did not live with her. Because had he lived with her, it would not have been her home. According to Jewish tradition, it would have been his home. Yes. So two things. Either she's a widow or her brother does not live with her. Now, we don't even know if Mary lives with Martha. We presume it, don't we? But nowhere in that passage does it say that Mary lived there with Martha. What we also hear is that Jesus doesn't come alone. He brings along 12 others. Imagine if somebody called up and said to you, gee, I'd like to come to your house for supper. May I come? Oh, sure, come on. We always have room for another plate. Oh, yeah, but this is 12 other plates. And you'd be in a frenzy, wouldn't you? Yes. And so when Martha invites Jesus to come to her home, and he accepts, her first thought is hospitality. Would that not be your first thought? So it's hospitality to Jesus. And it must have been near dinner time, or meal time, I should say. Because she went into the kitchen, she scurried around, got out the best fruits and vegetables, and perhaps the best piece of meat that she could possibly give to Jesus, because after all, you want to give him the best. And she's doing this all by herself, perhaps with the help of a servant or two. And she looks around as to why her sister isn't helping her. And there she is, little Miss Mary, being very contrary in Martha's eyes, because she should be helping Martha. At least Martha thinks so. So we have Martha going to Jesus and sort of manipulating him into siding with her, that Mary should go and help her rather than sit at Jesus' feet and listen. But what did Jesus do? He didn't side with Martha, did he? He sided with Jesus. It seems as though he sided with Mary, doesn't it? Martha, Martha, Mary has chosen the better part. Well now, if Jesus had said that to you as you were working in the kitchen, and suppose your spouse or your sister or your brother or your child were sitting at the foot of Jesus, what might you say to him? When he says, Martha, Martha, you're worrying about so many things, and Mary has chosen the better part. What might you respond to him?
Whatever you say, Lord.
Okay, what would you respond?
Who's going to feed you?
Somebody's right. I think Martha might have said, she chose the better part. You see who's going to make your supper. I'll sit down. We've got to make the people in Scripture human because they were human. Do you not think she felt hurt?
Sure.
Are you surprised at Jesus' response to her? A little bit, yes. Especially if you open up the book of Luke and read what comes before Jesus' visit into Martha's home. Two things. First, shortly before the passage that I just read, Jesus is preaching about the one commandment. Love the Lord your God with your whole soul, your whole mind, and your whole strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Immediately after that, we have the story, the parable of the Good Samaritan. The lesson of which is, regardless of how a person looks or dresses or smells, that person is your neighbor. And if you want to be my disciple, reach out and help them. Is that not the message of the Good Samaritan? Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. And then Jesus walks into Mary's and Martha's home, and he sounds as though he's scolding her for being about helping. So you wonder, what's the message here? Well, I'd like to say that this evening, we're going to look at the better part. And I hope that when we finish this evening, you will have a hunger and a longing for the better part. You might even be surprised about it. We're going to look at two actions in our lives. We're going to look at living room intimacy, and we're going to look at kitchen service. Okay. How often we rush from here to there and never step into the living room to experience intimacy, conversation, presence with whoever might be sitting there. And I should chalk that off of living room and say family room, because today it's more the family room where people gather. So that if I'm going from the kitchen to the bedroom, I shoot right through the family room and I never recognize or give any recognition to my spouse, company, my children, grandchildren, because I'm going from here to there and that's where my focus is. We don't stop in the living room because we're too busy in the kitchen. And I don't mean the kitchen, the room, nor do I mean cooking. I'm talking about busyness that comes in many forms, both for women and men. And yet, Jesus says to us, "Come sit by me. Mary has chosen the better part." He isn't saying that we should deny others their meals. He isn't saying that we shouldn't help one another as a gesture of love, as an act of love. But what he is saying is, give God to God what is due to God, and give to Caesar what is due to Caesar. Our God invites us, Jesus invites us, day after day, minute after minute, second after second. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy burdened. Come. In the prophet Isaiah, our God, Yahweh, says, "Come, and I will give you good food to eat and good wine to drink. Come and listen to me." But Lord, I can't come right now. I have to take the clothes out of the dryer. Oh Lord, I can't come right now. I got to go to the golf field. Oh God, I can't come out now because blah, blah, blah.